afternoon, and good evening to all of you connecting from various parts of the globe today to join this conference. Sadly, we cannot physically meet and greet this year due to pandemic, but I'm happy that all of you are safe at your homes. So let me share my screen real quick so that we can start. Let me see. Okay, so I can share. Okay, so are you guys able to see my screen? That's a default question these days. Okay, so my today's talk is about full stack solution for development teams, and it's going to be a little technical, but I promise you it's going to help you in many ways, regardless of your job profile. And let me start by introducing myself. My name is Sarabjeet Singh, and I have 10 years of IT experience. I'm working as a front-end team lead at UCreate, and also I'm running a community in Chandigarh Mohali area named Dev Talks, where we host monthly meetups for developers by developers. And the best thing about my job, which keeps me fascinating, is to solve problems. And on that, today I'm going to talk about full stack. So the term full stack is way more complex than it sounds. Every company has their own definition for it. In simple words, it includes everything from writing code to make the product work and deploy and host it somewhere so the users can use it. And to accomplish this, many tools and technologies are required to work together. So far, we have software developers who can work on different technologies, front end, back end, deployment, etc. But we do not have a single full stack tool which can do all of this at one place. Now let's see a few responsibilities of full stack developers, which I gather from internet from various job profiles from different companies, which includes designing user interface, creating database and setting up server, developing APIs for web and mobile, deploy applications, creating microservices, developing mobile apps, manage content of the application, managing code quality. And with so many responsibilities comes a great toolkit. You cannot achieve all of that using one single tool. You have to get your hands dirty with many different tools. For example, managing database and writing APIs need different tools and different skill set than deploying applications. And similarly, creating UI components and make it work for every possible device screen. And that's not the only challenge that we have these days. With the rise in demand and rise in competition, we need to get to the market fast also, which sometimes involves non-tech people to get into the process, do some code manipulation, do some changes in the content of the application so that we can go to the market faster and many people can do the work together. And that's why these days no code and low code solutions are really shining. With that, I'm going to introduce you to the only full stack solution that I know, which will significantly reduce your overheads and get you to the market faster. Ladies and gentlemen, meet AWS Amplify, a tool built by AWS. Let's go through its definition by its creator. So AWS Amplify is a set of tools and services that can be used together or on their own to help front-end web and mobile developers build scalable full-stack applications powered by AWS. And they claim that with using AWS Amplify, you can able to go to the market faster. And that we will see in the next slide soon. And there's one more reason to trust this product, which is AWS itself. By a study done in February 2020, over 33% of websites are using AWS in the world, which is 1/3 of total web traffic. And it's a default choice for many services like image storing, like image storing. And one or another way, chances are your product that you're building is already using some AWS services. Okay, so now let's see how can it help. So Amplify works in three different areas: develop, deliver, and manage. And that's pretty much it, covering everything from development to deploy and then managing. Let's go them by step. So when it comes to develop, so when you develop the front end, it gives you all of the front end framework. Like it support every major web framework like React, Angular, Vue, Next.js. And for mobile platform, it supports Android, iOS, React Native, Ionic, and Flutter, which almost all of the web frameworks, which we know. And then once you build it, and for deliver, it also provides you with CI/CD, branch deployment, managed hosting, atomic deployments, and custom domains. These many options are there to deploy your web application or mobile application to the web. Okay. And that's all with zero and minimal configuration. You might not need to use write any extra configuration for setting this thing up. And the third one is manage, which is like my favorite as well, which is admin UI. And this enables you to build the backend visually. You literally don't have to write any single line of code. You can create data models and authentication right inside your browser. Okay, so now I will just show you a quick live demo for this. And I need to go into the AWS console. Okay, so this is my AWS console, and I need to go into Amplify. I'm not going to write any code. So I deployed my application DevTalks, which is here. And for this website, I used Amplify. This is last build is failed. Let's ignore that for now. And when I go inside that, so in this platform, I can able to manage front end and back end both into one place. And let's don't talk about front end, let's talk about back end, because that's what the admin UI do. So here I can have multiple environments. As of now, I have only for dev, but I can able to create for staging and for production different environments. I can manage all of them differently. So let's open the admin UI. Let me look at the chat. Okay. So here is your admin UI. So where you can manage all of your backend front-end code right here and all of your application. So if you are not a developer, you are a project manager or product owner of the website, you can come into this platform and you can able to make changes to the app content. Okay. So let's see what you can do in this admin UI. So firstly, you can able to create data model right inside this admin UI. So let's see that. I already created one, it's showing deployed. So let's view this one. Okay, so you can see there is one data model named events, and this reflects the data table in my database. So which I'm using for my website here, DevTalk. So we are showing events over here, and these are coming from there. For managing this, I have like in the table, I have ID, name, data, and I select the type of it, and then I can simply deploy that. And what does it do? It will create a database in the backend. It will create an endpoint API for me to interact with the database, and I do not need to write any single line of code for that. Okay, and it use DynamoDB by default and use AppSync. You can able to create GraphQL or REST APIs. So let's say if I have to create a new data model, I just create a new model here and give it a name. Let's say docs. Just need to capitalize. Okay. And I can add some fields over here for that table. And then I click on save and deploy, and it will deploy this service to AWS, and which will create the database and the endpoint for me to interact with. It's that simple to create backend, and you don't need to write any single line of code for this. Let me discard this one. Let me show you this over here. So once you create a data model, then the next step is you can modify the content of it. So let's say I want to change some entry, or I want to add more entries. So right here, I can create a new event. I can delete the previous one, and I can edit the previous one as well. And for this, you don't need to know any language. If you are a project manager, you can jump into this admin UI and you can make changes to it. Okay, and then you can able to manage users as well here. And these all are the users who signed up for my profile. These all are my accounts only. So I can able to remove users, and I can reset their passwords, everything from this one platform itself. And more to that, I can able to create endpoints. Let's go into GraphQL API. So that one data model that I just showed you, for which it creates a GraphQL API and it's deployed. I can able to click here and it will take me to the original resource where it deployed. Use AWS AppSync for that. And it create this schema. Let's edit this. Okay, so you can see all of this schema is being created by Amplify itself. I haven't tried any code for this one. I just mentioned the fields that I needed, and it creates query and mutations for that. And here's my playground. I can just write the queries and I can see if that is working or not. So that's how fast and quick it is to create web backends without writing any code. And also, if you want to integrate storage to your product, if you want to write functions, cloud functions, and if you want to implement analytics, for this, you might already know different services like AWS S3 buckets and Lambda functions, and for authentication, AWS Cognito. So these are all separate AWS services, which are all combined into this one. And you don't need to go into AWS console after this. From this one panel, you can manage every single thing. Else, you have your AWS console and you have all of their hundreds of services here. You need to go in any different one by one, and then you can able to change that. But they provide you this tool where you don't need to go into any different. Everything related to your app can manage into from one place. Okay. So that's about this. And then this is the deployment activity. So whenever you are creating any service, so it's using different resources, and you can see if you create a bucket, so it will send it over there. And if it's creating an app source resource, that will be linked over here. And let's see where we can see our database, because we created a model for that. I'm going to amplify. So this is my API. Yeah, so this is the events table that it created for me. So if you want to see the service where it is actually deploying, so you can see that. So you can see it take me to the DynamoDB where this database is created with all of the fields, and I can see all of the entries over here. And see, I can manage every single item of this from the admin UI itself. And if you want to integrate this APIs in your application, for that also it provide the packages, npm packages for React, for Vue, Next, Flutter, Ionic for everything. So whatever front end we are using, you can use their packages for that. That's about this demo. Now let's jump back to our presentation. So I just showed you how you can do all of the stuff into only in one UI. And with the help of this, we can bring all of the full stack work that we are doing to one single place. So you do not need to rely on different database service. Like you don't need to go to phpMyAdmin to manage database, to write APIs and to write the front end code. Everything come at one single place. Now let's go some of the websites built by AWS Amplify, which are already in production and having huge user base. The first one is Peacock TV. So it's a live streaming website, and it's similar to Netflix and Amazon Prime that we have in India. So this is for US, and they already have 10 million users subscribed to this. And with that, you can see how scalable AWS Amplify is. And behind the scene, it uses services like storage, AWS Media Service, Cognito, DynamoDB, AppSync, and many more. And it's already running production. There are millions of users using it already. And our second example is Assist OC mobile app. This mobile app is developed within 3 weeks, and this is for helping homeless people in US during the pandemic. So you can see if you use this, and you can go to the market really, really fast, because you don't have to write the every single line of code by yourself. And yeah, so I think, yeah, that's it. And then if you like want to dip what's that, sorry for that. Okay. And if you want to learn more, because I'm not touching any code part of it and any integration part of it, so this is just an introduction of how this full stack tool can able to accelerate your development. So whenever you're next time going to get a new project, so I am really suggesting you to use this, give a try to this project. And you don't need to write anything for the backend, and you can consume those APIs in your front end mobile app or in web app as well. And if you want to learn more and dig deeper in that, so I'm creating a bunch of tutorial videos and planning to create more in coming months on my YouTube channel, which you can subscribe. Here's the link I have provided. And that's the complete integration part of it. And you can connect with me on social media. I'm available on almost all of the platforms like LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Service3 is my username, and just check it out and say hi if you want to talk. And this brings us to end of this session. Thank you, everyone. And if you have any questions, please ask now, or I will be available in the consultation corner as well. So you can catch me there as well. So I'm just stopping my screen share.
Hey, thanks, Sarabjeet. I guess we have already saved, 7-8 minutes from the session.
Yeah.
Good. So I'm stopping the recording first.